Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. I'm very excited to welcome you all here today. And we have quite a lineup of speakers up here, so we're going to get started. But first, as always, I want to thank the staff, specifically for La Firme. You all do an incredible job. 40 years for this restaurant and 40 years for Martin's Additions. Very fitting. So thank you all. There we go. Good. I want to thank our assistant village manager, Aaron Burns, in the back, but always holding down the fort. Thank you, Aaron. And I want to thank the Chevy Chase Arts Academy for being an incredible local business, but also for providing us music here today. Thank you. I want to thank Montgomery County Municipal Cable. You all are incredible filming here today. Appreciate it. We have films from them from all of our events, so you can go to our website and see those. Thank you. Independent media, that's right. That's incredible. And lastly, I want to thank the Community Engagement Committee. You all are incredible. Thank you all for your support and pulling off so many good events throughout the year. Thank you. And actually, last but not least, I want to thank the Village Council. You all have been incredible public servants. You're all volunteers. I appreciate you so much. I know everyone else does too for all your hard work. Thank you. Speaking of which, I want to invite up the Village Council right now. All 5 Village Council members, please come to the front and join Katie Howard. You too, Jeff. And with that, I want to hand it off to our council chair, Katie Howard. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Aaron. How about another round of applause for our very hardworking, dedicated village manager and assistant village manager. It truly takes a village to run the Village of Martin's Additions. I am Katie Filipchek Howard, the current chair of the VMA Council, and I sincerely welcome our residents and our distinguished guests representing state and local government. Today, we kick off a series of festivities recognizing our 40 years as a municipality. We are celebrating our Ruby anniversary as we are, after all, a shining jewel of neighborhoods. Thank you. On March 19th, 1985, the state of Maryland officially recorded our municipal incorporation as the Village of Martin's Additions. The distinction established a 5-member council, and the first elected council members were Michael Zielinski, Edward Holland, Lucy Foa, Karen McManus, and Paul Weller, who I think is in attendance today, right back there in the corner. Fun fact, their names are listed on the Village of Martin's Additions Wikipedia page, so a bit of fame came with the position as well. And we must also recognize the first village manager of the municipality, the OG, Gene Sperling. Who I affectionately refer to as Queen Jean. Okay. My parents, Ben and Jill Filipchek, moved to Village of Martin's Additions in 1980. They were both civil servants. My dad worked 2 jobs so we could move here. So I actually lived in the VMA during 1985 when we first became incorporated. However, I was 9 years old at the time, so I don't recall much except growing up in an absolutely idyllic neighborhood. I later had the privilege to return in 2013 with my husband Steve and our 2 daughters Hannah and Heidi to take up permanent residence in my childhood home. When it's a tough day in the outside world of the VMA, I experienced no greater joy than arriving home to our beautiful neighborhood with its tree-lined streets and canopies to the warm refuge of my Taylor Street bungalow. So while many of us have lived or are living through challenging times, I hope both our longtime and newer residents feel the same, comfort in this community and enjoy the benefits of what living in a municipality provides. My time in office has always been a tribute to my dear mother, Jill Filipczek, who also served on the council beginning in 2010 until she passed in 2013. It has been one of my proudest accomplishments to be elected and an honor to serve as the council member and as the chair, the 5th woman to serve in 40 years. I want to take this opportunity to thank the current council, my colleagues Susan Fadig, Arthur Alexander, Andrew Calders, and Jeff Blander for their dedication and leadership. Thank you. This is a volunteer position, and most of us hold full-time jobs or serve in other positions. So I thank them for their time to serve in our community. And I would like to share an additional thanks to Susan for working with me as a co-liaison on the Community Engagement Committee and planning today's event. So thank you, Susan. All right. I've talked long enough. So on behalf of the VMA, I can say we are truly honored to be joined and recognized by our Maryland representatives. We have State Senators Jeff Waldstreicher, District 18 Delegates Jared Solomon and Aaron Kaufman. We are also joined by Montgomery County Executive Mark Elridge. Thank you. And we also have our Montgomery County Council members and both former council presidents, Andrew Friedson and Evan Glass. Special shout out to Evan Glass. We are both American University alumni and classmates. Go Eagles. So thank you. And we also, I think I just saw former Delegate Anna Sol Gutierrez. Is that right? Okay. Thank you. Of Turner Lane. So it is my, we also have members of Council Member and Vice President Will Jawando's office and Council Member Lori Ann Sales' office, too. Thank you. So a round of applause for our local representation. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Senator Waldstreicher and Delegates Solomon and Kaufman. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Chair. Thank you to our council. Congratulations to the Village of Martin's Additions on 40 years since incorporation. My name is Jeff Waldstreicher. I serve as the state senator representing this area. I'm going to turn the mic over to my colleague, Delegate Jared Solomon, and my other colleague, Delegate Aaron Kaufman, and we have a citation for you today. Thank you again for having us here.
Yes, and I also should just say our wonderful delegate Emily Shetty is knee-deep in the budget and couldn't be here today, but she is the other person on the District 18 delegation, and she loves this community and sends her love. But it's Old Home Week for me because I live and grew up still in Rollingwood. I joke with Anna that when she retired, the people on Turner Lane were so accustomed to representation that I had to run. And so Martin's Addition always has a special place in my heart because Orlando and John cut my hair as a kid. Our Saturday morning treat was going up to Olympia for French toast on Saturday mornings. My brother and I, we both had our bar mitzvah receptions here at La Ferme and come to La Ferme for special occasions. And I also have some dear friends. My former, one of my dear friends, I call her the mayor of Summit Avenue, that I grew up with. Asher Ellis still lives in the village, and her mother Bonnie was the assistant manager for many years, Bonnie Ball, and growing up Mortar Gordy was the manager. So Martin's Addition has a really special place in my heart, from seeing Mr. Joe at the Brookville Market when he would help us with our packages. So I just love this community, and I must say, you all look amazing for 40. So I'm going to close by saying, God bless Harry Martin for creating this wonderful community. And as the former comptroller Louis Goldstein used to say, God bless y'all real good.
That is a tough act to follow, but I am Delegate Jared Solomon, and again, it's an honor to be here with my colleagues. I don't have quite the credentials of Martin's Addition as my friend here does, but this community is also very special to me. My kids both go to CCUMC. My older son, who's 4.5, plays soccer at Chevy Chase Local Park, so we live just up the road in Kensington, but this area has a very special place in our heart. And I'm turning 40 in about a month, so I'm just going to take this party for me.
It's for you, Jared.
But it's, at its fundamental level, especially at a time where public servants across the nation are under attack, it's really wonderful to be here to honor you all today, because the incorporation of Martin's Addition is really about a community that really wanted to stand up and take ownership over its neighborhood. And so many of you, Chair Howard, the entire council, but so many of you who serve on committees and are active, you do it out of the goodness of your own heart. You do it not for the high pay, but because you want to improve your community and make sure that you live in a place that everybody can love and enjoy. And so it's our honor to be able to be here today to recognize the 40th anniversary with an official citation from the Maryland General Assembly. If I can open it here. So it says, be it hereby known to all that sincerest congratulations are offered to the Village of Martin's Addition in recognition of the 40th anniversary of the Village of Martin's Addition, presented on this, the second day of March, 2025, signed by Senator Waldstreicher, Delegate Kaufman, Delegate Shetty, and myself.
Thank you so much, Senator Waldstreicher, Delegate Kaufman, and Solomon. Thank you for that recognition. And now may I call up Montgomery County Executive Mark Elbridge. How about a round of applause?
So it's great to be here again. A couple of things I want to point out. First, I want to thank Kate Howard, the council chair, and I want to thank all the members of the council and village manager, Michael Stillman. I want to thank everybody who attended the Attainable Housing Forum that I did up here back in October, and I hope it was helpful, and we're going to continue to help provide information to people. You guys have a long and proud history here in Martin's Addition. I was 40 when you were born, or 35 when you guys were born. So I go back a way. Before I was county executive, I was a county council member. Before that, I was a city council member for 19 years in Tacoma Park. I know the value of local government. You are closest to the people, closer than we are. We represent so many people when you're a council member, like hundreds of thousands of people. When you're a representative in a community like this, sometimes it's in the hundreds. In my case, I was represented maybe 2,000 households or something like that. So it's a very different situation, local government. You're very close to people. You can walk your neighborhoods. You can talk to people on the street. So I think you get a really good view of what people are concerned about and what matters. And sometimes I'm envious of the ability to do the work that local government's able to do. We're now in the midst of doing our budget. We are in an unusual situation because the state has many different issues in front of it right now. And this deficit they're dealing with, we don't know how much money we're going to have until we find out from the state how much money we're going to have. And so I wish our budget, like in some other jurisdictions, came after the legislature ended. That way we would know, but now we're having to do best guesses on March 15th, and then revisions as soon as the state finishes its session, and then we'll have to come back with changes to it. But we finished the year in a pretty strong position in terms of revenues, and we're optimistic that we can manage most things that could come our way. Not everything, but probably most things. So I'm optimistic about where we're headed on this. But we'll keep you informed. I put out a regular newsletter to the community. We want you to know what we're doing and what we're dealing with, and I think it's important. I have this certificate, and it's a award certificate to the Village of Martin's Addition in recognition and congratulations on the 40th anniversary of incorporation. The Village of Martin's Addition has been an established community for over 100 years in Chevy Chase, named for the original landowner, Harry M. Martin. It is a community that has flourished through the decades with generations calling it home. On March 19, 1985, the Village of Martin's Addition voted to become an independent municipality. Over the past 40 years as a municipality, the Village of Martin's Addition has prospered with an elected council, dedicated staff, and supported contractors to maintain the village. Congratulations on 40 years of incorporation and self-governance.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Elridge, County Executive. Okay, well, all politics is local, so you know who's next. I would like to bring up our Montgomery County Council members, Councilmember Friedson, Councilmember Glass, and I don't know if we have representatives still here from Council. Thank you very much. They're faster on their feet than me. Better at this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Katie. Madam Chair, great to be here alongside Councilmember Glass. We have a couple citations and certificates here, one from the at-large members and one from me as the district council member. I will say my mom grew up in Rollingwood like Delegate Kaufman and has many shared experiences. I'm not allowed to say how much earlier she grew up than Delegate Kaufman said, but it certainly is a place near and dear to her and to my heart. And it's great to know, and I didn't realize that Delegate Solomon is officially VMA years old, which is news to me, but really exciting. Thank you to Katie, and thank you to Michael, and thank you to the entire Village Council for being such great partners and actively engaging with me and with my office and with the County Council more broadly. It's really an important perspective, and I really value that coordination and collaboration that we've been able to have. This is an incredibly wonderful community, something that is obvious and clear to you all each and every day, and just really appreciate the opportunity to be here. I do have a council certificate to the Village of Martin's Additions in recognition of 40 years of rich history, strong community spirit, and contributions to Montgomery County, with appreciation for an ongoing commitment to thoughtful governance and community engagement, signed today by myself, Andrew Friedson, as your district council member. And as mentioned, Councilmember Glass also has a certificate from the at-large members, so I'm going to turn it over to him. And I will note, like Katie and like Councilmember Glass, my mom also went to American University, but I didn't go to American University, so I can't quite take credit for that. But happy 40th birthday. Thank you so much for being such great partners, and thank you so much for making this such a special place to live.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Evan Glass. I'm one of your at-large members of the council. I'm in my second term, and it is an honor to work with you all, to work with the Village Council, and also to work with your chair. You know, when we were up late at American University, who thought we'd be working dayside on our neighborhood issues, making sure that all of our communities across Montgomery County, but especially Martin's Addition, that we are able to live our authentic selves in the face of what is happening nationally and globally. We have to center ourselves on our communities and allow and celebrate our diversity, making sure we welcome everybody, regardless of where they pray, how they identify, who they love. I know that Martin's Addition cherishes those values as well, and it is an honor serving you all as an at-large council member. And I have I think the last citation of the day, hopefully, celebrating the Village of Martin's Addition on the 40th anniversary of incorporation as an independent municipality. The Village is a beautiful intergenerational community that seamlessly melds historic charm with modern character. Congratulations on this exciting milestone.
And I did just want to note there is also a certificate. I'm not going to read it as well, but just wanted to acknowledge from Councilmember Lorianne Sales and Councilmember Jawanda that was noted as well. And Councilmember Lorianne Sales has a representative who is here. So we're going to take a picture with all of these certificates from the County Council, and just want to thank again. And I will note and appreciate that I got to spend some time with Paul and Jean Sperling, the original village manager and chair, and just want to thank them for their involvement in the 40 years of this special place. So thank you so much, and congratulations again.
Thank you to our representatives. I want them to get something to eat. That's the mom and me. Everybody gets something to eat. From La Ferme, wonderful food. It's La Ferme is also celebrating its 40th anniversary too, as well. It'll affirm years old too. Next up, I would like to introduce our Secretary of the Council, Susan Fattig.
Hi, everyone. As we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the municipal incorporation with all of the attendant powers. Closer to my, okay. Not an accomplished speaker. I'd like to just take a few minutes to pay tribute to some of the VMA exceptional council members. In the spirit of Oscar fever and maybe a nod to the table trivia game, I've categorized these stars as follows. Best supporting members, those who stepped into the breach during an unexpected council vacancy. Michael Drieben and Todd Mann. Best return engagement, council members Mike Zielinski, Todd Mann, and Richard Krajek. Each of these dedicated public servants served 2 terms, stepped down, and returned to service when duty called. Best director, Richard Krajek, whose kind, creative, thoughtful approach and grace under pressure consistently brought out winning performances from the cast and crew. 2 of his notable productions include award-worthy lighting and set design for the village office, but he shepherded through many other career achievements. Best female actors representing the village in the role of chair, Sharon Coyle, Althea Harlan, Tiffany Cisna, current chair, Katie Howard, and myself. Lifetime Achievement Award, Arthur Alexander, who has served the most consecutive and total terms, including 4 terms as chair, strengthening our village's financial status while introducing new initiatives such as the tree program that benefit all residents. Best original score, 100 out of 100 for village livability. As we celebrate this event, please join us in honoring the leaders who've all contributed to making the village a stellar place to live. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I hadn't quite realized that I was the longest serving member, because there have been 47 members of the village council. About 40% of them were women, and I didn't count the number of women chairs, but quite considerable, and I've served under many of them myself. I would like to make this actually a call for volunteers. We have here our state and county people who are serving for us. They don't do it because they're going to get rich. And they're not doing it because they're going to be famous or because it's an easy job. But these are jobs that have to be done. They're jobs that are done at the local level. If your heart beats a little faster when you think of waste collection, if repaving kind of stimulates your juices a bit, I urge you to run for the council. The council is up for grabs right now. We're nominating people for the coming year. So think about putting your own name forward. It takes attention at the local level. It takes attention to detail. As I say, you won't get fame or glory or riches, but you can help a community run a little better, as my colleagues from right to left here are all doing. So thank you for all.
Hi there, Andrew Cowders. Let me turn around here. A couple of things. First of all, I didn't know you had your bar mitzvah here. I have a b'nai mitzvah coming up, my twins, so I might check with management if this is the right venue. Thank you very much. I wanted to pick up on one quick thing that the county executive said. As many in this village and in these neighborhoods, I served in federal government for many years in the Clinton administration on Capitol Hill, but since coming here to the council, nothing has been more rewarding to see the responsiveness of our village staff, council members seeing projects come to fruition. It's something that I think is incredible. So it's been a great honor serving on this council, and I look forward to continuing that work. And with that, we have one more citation. We promised that those were the last ones, but this time from the head honcho in the state, the governor. And it's, let me get my glasses. Sorry, all those years. And it says, "Be it known, because of your demonstration of high integrity and ability, meriting our great trust and respect, we are most pleased to award you the governor's citation in appreciation of your outstanding services to the citizens of this state." Signed, the Governor, Lieutenant Governor, and Secretary of State.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? I usually don't need to use a mic, but I'll humor our audio and video folks. So, first of all, following all protocols observed, as we say down in Foggy Bottom, welcome. It is absolutely magnificent to be here and celebrate with you all. As we all know, VMA is a special place because of you all, the role that you have in shaping this community and our village. Whether serving on a committee, looking out for a neighbor, or simply being part of the daily moments that make VMA feel like home. For my wife, Michelle, and our daughter, Rosie, and myself, VMA has been our home since 2013. A place where we built friendships and made lifelong memories. We were drawn to this village for the same reasons many of you were, for its charm, its sense of belonging, deep-rooted community spirit. I was getting to that, trees. But VMA isn't just a place to live, is it? It's a place where neighbors become friends, where conversations happen on front porches and sidewalks, where community isn't just an idea, but it's something you feel. In fact, VMA reminds me an awful lot of where I was raised by my grandparents. Literally, the neighbors would cheer you on when you were riding your bike, and enjoyed that with our own family and our own daughter. The local shop owners know you by the name and took the time or take the time to ask you how you are. The only difference is back then when I grew up, I could get a slice of pizza, an Italian ice, and a soda for $1. Not exactly the same these days. Of course, we all look out for each other, and kindness isn't just an on-off switch. It's there all the time. But there are very special reminders of present-day ties for me, too. For example, when I was 5, my mother passed away, and my grandparents who adopted me brought home a rescue kitten, Frisky. He became my best friend and a source of comfort and love. And that brings us to current day, and to me, one of my dearest friends in VMA, Keith Allen. Keith, are you here? Keith, or we all know him as the unofficial mayor of our village. Keith and I share a deep appreciation for rescue fur babies, a subject that we wrote a newsletter article on called The Mayor and Gracie. It's about his beloved Gracie, a feral kitty that Keith cared for through harsh winters before finally giving her forever home in his house. Gracie's journey to me reflects the character of VMA, a place where people step up for a neighbor, make a charitable contribution for a cause like MANA to address food insecurity. I saw Linda here, Linda. Or rehab a hurt bunny or a squirrel. Paula Goldberg, I saw Paula here as well. And Keith, whether rescuing kitties, reporting the weather, or bringing neighbors together for your beloved engagement committee, it embodies everything that I dearly love about this community. Another example, another story, as you can tell, I'm a storyteller. The special nature of our community is when a few years ago, my daughter and her friends helped inspire a children's book we wrote together when neighbors in Rollingwood, I know there are some here who spent their time who lived in Rollingwood, while at a 6-year-old birthday party, they tried to protect a beloved tree from being cut down. The kids rallied, they spoke up, they were even interviewed on TV and fought to save it. In the end, the tree was removed. But the story did not end there. This is true. You can see the videos. Our experience and the lesson of that moment, if you can believe it, reached over 60,000 people around the world and dozens of countries. It proves something powerful. Even when we don't win a cause, when people come together for something they believe in, change happens. So our ripples here in VMA transcend well beyond our borders. And both of these stories, they remind me of my time, and I apologize, I did not go, I'm not your alma mater. I went to this other place up in Cambridge. And a renowned professor, Robert Putnam, wrote a book. And the book was called Bowling Alone. Thank you. I see that I have some folks over here. And the book was about this. It was about Americans have become increasingly disconnected from their communities. I remember questioning him on this in class. I told him that strong, vibrant communities still exist. From my own personal experience growing up with my grandparents, not all neighborhoods had fallen into isolation, that people still cared for one another, that in the right environment, civic engagement was alive and well. Looking around this room now, I know that VMA is proof I was right. And if Professor Putnam was here today, I know he'd agree, and I'm going to actually send this to him by text after this discussion. So I know it's a little bit longer. This sounded a lot better to me when I was writing it in the wee hours of the morning in my head, so I just have a few more things to share. So as my fellow public servants to my right and left and behind, for me personally, public service is a calling. It's in my DNA. Each time I've ever taken office, whether at the federal level or VMA, it has been one of the greatest privileges and honors of my life. It's a reminder that public service isn't about titles. It's about trust. It's about knowing that every decision made, every policy shaped, every budget passed must be in service of our residents, because the oath we take isn't just words. It's a promise to hold the office with integrity, honor, empathy, and caring. And I know as we look forward to the future, we have challenges and opportunities that we'll continue to work on, whether it's stormwater management, our traffic safety and walkability, aging in place for our seniors, responsible fiscal planning, and I have to say I have learned from absolutely the greatest there is. And of course, enhanced public safety and how we're going to address that, because we know even in this, what we like to think is a safe hamlet, we've actually had some armed felonies and armed assaults happen right here on Brookville at our pharmacy. So addressing all these challenges, it takes strong collaboration, authentic listening sessions with our county and our state officials, and we are truly so grateful to you for all that you do. Some of whom are here today and others who were unable to make it. Thank you for your service. It means everything to us. But at the end of the day, and as I come into closing, what makes this place great isn't the budgets, it isn't the policy. Of course, as I said, it's the residents and the people. And whether it's shoveling the neighbor's driveway after the first snow, we work and we return each other's recycling bins for the curb, or checking in during difficult times, because I think we've already mentioned this, but we know right now is a very difficult time in this region, even in our community, with significant job loss underway. And so again, we thank you all for, at the state and county, if you haven't seen it, they have put together magnificent resources for those who are affected. Really, it's a blessing, and thank you. And finally, I promise finally, in closing, the great Maya Angelou once shared, people may forget what you said, they may forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I assure you, I do not expect you to remember one word that I've shared today. However, I hope you recall that for 40 years, VMA has been a place where neighbors are welcomed, they're cared for, and their value. That is our legacy, and that is what we must continue to build. Here's to the next 40 years. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. And one final note, I would like to close, and I'd like all the council members to join me. We can each take a part. We're not going to sing. No, Susan, not going to sing. Thank you for poet Maya Angelou. There is another poet in our neighborhood who lives on, is it Broadley Lane?
Yes,
Peggy Eastman. Peggy Eastman wrote this poem about the Village of Martin's Additions when we had our centennial celebration in 2016, recognizing 1916 when we became a special taxing district. So I'll read the last stanza, but if you would like to begin, Susan. Does everyone have the readers on? Everybody ready? Okay.
How about,
yeah, you read there.
Delicate as a fledgling's feathers are the new green leaves of this new spring. Our cherished trees are greeting us with bursting life. Tiny star-like maple leaves share this newly washed pale blue space with diminutive tulip poplar umbrellas.
Soon there will be a leafy canopy overhead that belongs to our warbling birds. What is the yardstick for a thriving small community? Reverence for nature, generosity, a warm welcome for newcomers, compassion? Richly blessed are we with all of these and more.
This one? This one? Surely, 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 it is the little and not so little actions we take every day that unite us. Raking and bagging leaves for a neighbor who wrenched his back. Picking up a gallon of skim milk at the Brookville market for a neighbor who lacks a car. Taking a friendly wandering dog home to his owners. We know this furry tail wagger by sight. Shoveling snow off the path for an elderly neighbor who just lost her husband. Picking up a prescription at the Brookville pharmacy for the sick child who lives next door. Good neighbors are caring neighbors, and they live here.
We share books, block parties, yard sales, driveways, plants, casseroles, holidays, and children at play. We stroll on sidewalks to the Olympia Cafe. No need to drive to Starbucks. We show a streak of Thoreau, albeit much gentler. We prefer self-governance and gather annually at the Brookville Market Center for balloon-festooned red, white, and blue voting day to elect our village officers and eat ice cream.
We're not much into big box stores or suburban sprawl. We like things small. Who are we? We are the residents of Martin's Addition, Chevy Chase, Maryland, USA, and we're proud to call our village home.